Hello, Ralph Davella back. This is lesson number 12, and I want to congratulate you because this is the final lesson for the beginning series of 12 lessons, and this is the final lesson, the 12th lesson. Alright, so again, we're just going to go right through the 12th lesson in the book, and like always what I do is I copy it, this way I can put them up on the screen clearly for you to see it. Lesson number 12, the final lesson. So let's get started with it and let's go through it. After this, I wanted to explain to you what you can do to keep progressing. Because once you're done with this 12th lesson, I don't consider you a beginner anymore. I'm going to consider you an intermediate student. So let's keep progressing. Let's do the final lesson. Alright, so remember to follow the rules like we always do when we do these first two warm-up exercises. First we're going to do the lip buzz, and just follow what I wrote here. I know you read it before and you've been doing it this way, but always remind yourself, form the armature by saying the letter M. Second, say 2, 2, 2, like spitting, almost like spitting. 2, 2, 2. Alright, and then the third thing, blow steady air and interrupt it with the tongue. Alright, ready? One, two, three, four. Okay, then you repeat it. So do it twice, and when you do that, now let's do the mouthpiece buzz. You do it the same way, by forming the armature the same way, by saying the same thing. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Three, 4. One, two. All right. So also when you're doing this first one here, just the lip buzz, try to change after you do this. Try to change pitch a little bit. So for instance. And then the same thing with the mouthpiece buzz. Alright, and then it's a good way to form your armature and get started. Alright, let's move on to the next exercise now. Now we're going to move on to the 6 notes, exercise 12C. Now I want you to repeat it twice. Make sure you read the directions. You may only get to a certain point. You need to take it off, then rest a little, put it back on. But ultimately, I like for you to play it twice without taking it off. So we're going to do it once for the purposes of getting through this video. So let's do that right now. 1, 2, 3. Ready? Then we're going to repeat it again. And sometimes it sounds better than other times. Even for me on that time, it didn't sound as good as I like it, but that doesn't matter on this exercise so much. You do your best you can, you play it the best you can. Alright, now we're going to move on to the next exercise. Now you see exercise 12D on your screen, the chromatic scale down. So on that chromatic scale, we started in a G, and each week we went down lower and lower. Now we went all the way down, going all the way down to the low F sharp, which is the lowest fundamental note on the trumpet. So let's do it again. Once you start, you breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3. Now the next exercise, you'll see right below there is 12E, and we're just going to hold that F sharp. We're going to hold it for as long as we can, and we're going to hold it a couple of times. Alright, so not to make the video long, keep holding it, but you hold it as long as you can. Don't hold it so you pass out, just hold it, till you're comfortable, ran out of air. And then you breathe in and you do it one more time. Alright, so now let's move on to the next one, which is 12F, which is the interval of the second. And just let me remind you one more time here that every time you play any of these exercises, you rest for at least as long as you took to play the exercise. Exercise 12F, interval of the second. Make sure you read everything here. It's important. I know you've read it many times. Let's say you get to the second line there and it's C, D, C. That's all you can get. The next one doesn't come out. It doesn't come out. You rest 15, 20 seconds. Put it back on and continue. You get a couple more. Maybe you get to the third line to the F. Try that. Maybe you get that one, maybe you don't. If you get that one, you try the next one. If you don't get that, that's it. That's the first try, the second try, and the third try, and then that's it for the day on this one. Now after you play this exercise, I just want to remind you, this is strenuous, so you're going to have to rest for a while. You're going to have to rest your muscles for at least, I would say, a good... I know you don't have all day to sit here and practice. You have other things to do, you have other things to study, but you got to rest at least 10 to 15 minutes after this exercise. So let's play this. Let's play the interval of the seconds now. And as you can see, as you've been following along, each week we went higher and higher and higher. Now we're always up. Let me show you. Now we're always up to the high C, this B, C, B. Alright, those fingerings are written for you, notes are written for you. So, like I say, I don't expect you to get there, but they're there for you, because eventually you will get there. So let's play this together. Maybe we'll be, alright. 1, 2, 3. say that's all you got to. I don't know if it was easy for you to get there or you didn't get there. Doesn't matter. But that's where you pick it up from. Like for me, so now I'll pick it up from the FGF, okay? 1, 2, 3. Now let's say you got to that point and you couldn't go anymore. Now we'll pick it up from there and we'll try to make it to the end. If we do, we do. We don't, we don't. It's just a matter of time before you do. Now let's pick it up from the G to the, let me show you again. Now we'll pick it up from this, where we at here? G to the A to the G. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that's it. That's how we do that exercise. So just do, like I say, it doesn't matter how far you get. Eventually you'll make it to the end. It took me a few years, a couple of years, I guess, to get there. A few years, so it doesn't matter. So some people get there in 1 year, some people get there in 3 years. What's the difference? You just keep practicing and you'll get there. Alright, let's move on to the next exercise. Alright, next exercise, the harmonic series. We've been doing this. So it's all open finger, then it's all second finger, all first finger, all first and second, all second and third. So, and then all 1 and 3, and all 1, 2, and 3, as you know. So we blow through this, no interruption in between. We try to make it to the end, okay? There's a couple notes going to be added to this, and once you get to the intermediate method, the intermediate level. But for now, let's do this together. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you can take it off between each line. As a matter of fact, I want you to take it off between each line and rest. Okay, now let's do the next line, which is 1. All first finger. Next, 1 and 2. Make sure you have a continuous blow through this. 1, take a nice breath. Okay. Now 2 and 3. Sorry, 1 and 2. Start on the D. Now the last one, 1, 2, and 3, starting on the low C sharp, down to the low F sharp, back to the C sharp, to the F sharp, even though F sharp is normally fingered in the middle finger, in the harmonic series is fingered 1, 2, and 3. And same thing with the A sharp, then to the C sharp. You'll hear it. 2, 3. Alright, that's the harmonic series. It's a good exercise. It's good for flexibility, good to build strength. Now we'll go on to the next exercise, which is called the chromatic scale, the chromatic scales, exercise 12H. Let me put it up on the screen for you now. As we went over this in previous lessons, we're doing 8 notes here, and there's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay, 1 in the downbeat, 1 in the upbeat, downbeat, upbeat. Now, this is just so for you to look at and put it in your head. Now, when we play this, you can play this all quarter notes to learn it. The only difference now between this and the lesson before is we're expanding it up a little bit. We expand it a little bit. We keep expanding it a little bit higher, and so we're gonna play this. And I'm gonna set the metronome on 66. I want you to start getting used to using the metronome a little bit more to keep time and to get the feel of even time in your head. So let's play this together now. Okay, starting on the low C. Again, I don't know if you have all your fingers underneath the ear or not, but the more you play this, fingers become natural. So it's difficult until you play it 100 times, 200 times, even more. The metronome is right here. Okay. You got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. Now, again, on this, if you play too loud, you're not going to be able to hear the metronome. So it's actually a good thing to practice something softly. This would be a good one to practice softly. So practice that even softer than I just played it. This way you can hear the metronome in the background. Alright, so like again, you can practice this as slow as you want until you get it. Once you get it, you pick up a little speed. You keep taking the metronome and put it up a notch. So if it's on 66, and you put up a notch 69, and you put up a notch to 72, and you get faster and faster with it. Alright, on to the next lesson. So here we have tongue exercise number 4. We're going to start by playing, make sure you read this, very important. We're going to start by playing quarter notes, then we're going to play eighth notes, then we're going to play 16th notes. Quarter notes, eighth notes, two notes in one beat, downbeat, upbeat. 16th notes are twice as fast as eighth notes, so that would be 4 notes in one beat. So if this is ta, 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 the eighth notes would be ta, 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 twice as fast as the quarter note. The 16th notes would be sound like this. Ta 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 ta. So the 16th notes are twice as fast as the eighth notes. So the quarter note gets one beat, 2 eighth notes gets one beat, and 4 16th notes gets one beat. Alright, so using the metronome on this is great. Let's just play it without the metronome at first, because it could be a little difficult. Then if we can get the work the metronome in, after you do it 10 times or so, then that would be great. You'll hear that each quarter note falls on a click. You'll hear that 2 eighth notes fall on a click. And you'll hear that 4 16th notes fall on a click. Well, let's play it. 1, 2, Okay, now you can take it off. That's for a few seconds. Now we're going to play the eighth notes. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Of course, I want you to repeat these. So now we're going to play the 16th notes, the last line. Da 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 da. 1, 2, 1. Repeat that. I just want to give you a tip on that. Again, I think I wrote it in there, but you're going to blow as if you're blowing a whole note or a quarter note. Your ear is continuous. You're interrupting the ear with your tongue. All right, so you're not thinking. You got one continuous blow, and you're interrupting your ear with the syllable. done that, continuous air, interrupt the air with your tongue. Let's go to the next exercise. We're doing the rhythm study, so there's a little bit of studying to do each week. Each week I give you different rhythms to play. Let's move on to that exercise now. All right, in this rhythm study, exercise 12J in the book, we're playing what they call triplets. So it's a little tricky, but you are advancing now, so we have to start getting into some of these things. And a triplet means just like when you play a quarter note for one beat, or you play eighth notes play two notes with one beat, da, eighth notes, dot, dot, right? And 16th notes is 4 beats, dot, 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 dot. Triplet means you play 3 notes in one beat. So here's how it sounds, and here's what we say to ourselves in our head in order to get that correct feel of the triplet. So this is 3 notes in one beat. So we're going to say one triplet. That's what we're going to say in our head. One triplet, one triplet, one triplet, one triplet, one triplet. If you're going to do 4 of them, you can say 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So let's go right to here. And this is a quarter note. Then we're going to play 3 triplets and another quarter note. That gives us 4 beats. So let's just hear how this sounds. One triplet, one triplet, one triplet, one. So it's 1 triplet da, 1 triplet da, 1 triplet da. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's sing it like that. So we're going to divide. Here's the measure. Where's the measure line? Right there. So it's 1, 2 triplet, 3, 4 triplet, 1, 2 triplet, 3, 4. All right. So now we're learning to keep time, keep the beats, keep the rhythm, and then we're going to go right to the last triplet exercise. So I'm going to sing it again. Hope you don't mind the way I'm singing. I'm not much of a singer. So here we go. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, rest. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So it's just a matter of really more of a feel than anything else. So there is mathematics involved, which we talked about mathematics and music through these lessons. Let's play this one together now. All right, let's go right from the second line right here. Let's start with this second line right here. We'll play the second line, then we'll play the third line, then we'll play the fourth line, then we'll play the fifth line. So we'll start with the second line. One, two, three. And now we're going to do the next line, which is right below that. Now we're going to do the next line below that. Second line from the bottom. Just 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Okay, now let's do the last line. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Okay, so you get it in your head. You count with your foot. 3 notes in one beat. Thinking in your head. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And you keep repeating that and repeating. And anytime you see that, let me show you over here. Anytime you see this over here, where it says 3 notes are all together, all connected by a line, and it says 3 above it, that means a triplet. That always means a triplet. So you're always going to play those 3 notes the same way, always. All right, practice that. On to the next thing. Look, I wrote out all the scales for you, starting with the C scale. And it tells you the name of the scale. I have all the fingers. I have all the names of the notes. Coming down, I did not write the names of the notes in or the fingerings on purpose because I want you to think about how to do it. And so you can follow going up, coming down. But once you get it, I want you to not look at it and be able to play it just by memory. But you have to do it a lot of times to get to that point. So here are all the scales. And then the F scale, the B flat scale. And you'll see the E flat scale has 3 flats in it. That means when you look at the key signature, and you have to make sure. Now, usually, if it just says let's just for instance take that E flat scale. It's got B flat, E flat, and A flat in it. So you're always going to play when you come to the B flat, the E flat, or the A flat flat. Here, I wrote it in for you, okay? So normally you won't see these written in. You won't see them written in because they're in the key signature, but I wrote them in because I want you to be sure about what notes you're going to play to learn these skills. All right, so you got those skills there, and skills continue on the next page. So every major skill is written out for you in this book. All right, so for completing these 12 lessons, I wrote some songs out for you. Holiday songs. The first one is Jingle Bells. So you can stop your computer. You can take a picture of it, however you want to do it. This way, or put it on pause, and you can play Jingle Bells. Now make sure you know everything that we learn. You look. Here's the key singers in the key of G, because there's an F sharp there. 1 sharp means the key of G, and quarter notes, half notes, eighth notes. Follow along and learn how to play it. So that's Jingle Bells I put in there for you. What else I put in? Another one I put in there for you is We Wish You a Merry Christmas. We wish da 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 da. All right, so follow along. What else is in here that you have to know? Okay, here's the first ending. Right, goes up to here. Then it repeats back to there. And then when you come to the ending again, then you go to the second ending because you don't want to play the first ending twice. So then you play the second ending. All right, we talked about first endings and second endings in our lessons. Now here it is in a song. Well, make sure you follow. You're playing the first ending, going to back to the repeat sign, playing up to the first ending, but we're skipping to the second ending to end the song. And then here's Deck the Halls. Let's see. Here's what they call. Deck the Halls is in the key of F, all right, because it's B flat. B flat means it's in the key of F. We'll get into that more in your intermediate lessons. But here's what I want to point out. If you see here, whenever there's a B flat, okay, because there's B flat in the key signature, you play first finger B flat. But if you see something written in, this is called an accidental. You'll see the natural sign. So instead of playing the B flat there, you're playing the B because it's B natural. You turn it to B natural. All right, so you'll see I wrote above it the second finger instead of the regular finger B flat. So you play you play that. That's what you pay attention to. So throughout that measure, you're gonna whenever you see a B, you're gonna play a B, not a B flat. But as we go on after that measure, unless it's marked natural sign again, you go back to playing the B flat. All right, it all sounds a little complicated, but we have to start talking that way at this point. And the last thing I wrote for you, New Year's Eve song. You can play for your friends if you practice it enough. Old Lang Syne. All right, so work on that. Play it enough times, you'll memorize it without trying. All right, now we'll talk about this for a second. Talk about completing the book as you did. All right, congratulations on completing this book. Read it. Congratulations on completing the book. And then applications of how do you apply to learn skills. Talks about the warm-up next. Let me point it out to you. Then it talks about, we talk about the embouchure next, maintaining the embouchure. That means keeping the strength that you had built up through these lessons. How to maintain the embouchure. You read it. And then some important suggestions from me. And then I wrote, here's a little bonus song for you. Skip to my low kind of always fun to play that song. Remember, in the back of this book here, just so you don't forget, is the glossary. All the terms that we talk about, anything, that word that maybe you're not sure of, you look it up in the glossary. The glossary is in the back of the book. There's pages of that. Alright, so just to remind you of that. And the last thing I want to talk about is after you practice that for you're long enough to get comfortable with it, this would be the intermediate book. That would be the next book for you. So you see the name of it is Trumpet, Range, Endurance, and Flexibility, 25-minute workout, intermediate studies. The intermediate method book for the intermediate student continues the lessons, continues the working on your range to play higher, to be able to play louder, to be able to play better, to be able to get a better sound, and continues your education in music. After you play the intermediate book and you get through all the lessons and you feel comfortable with it, then the next book, not the last book, the next book will be the advanced, for the advanced student, and that goes through all the skills. It goes through all the major and minor skills, and it continues to advance, to make you a better player. Then after that, there's a professional book, but that's in the future. Maybe you'll stick with the trumpet, and maybe someday you'll make it to that book. But it's been my pleasure doing these 12 lessons. I don't know if I'm going to put the 12 intermediate lessons online or not. So if you do get the intermediate student book, you just follow my instructions. I wrote them very clearly, and I repeat things a lot of times just so it sticks with you. But so if I don't put the intermediate book online, good luck with it, and hopefully if you have any questions, you could always write me online. You can always text me online, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. It's been my pleasure. Thank you for going through these 12 lessons with me. Good luck to you.